Hello and welcome back. So, in this uh, mind blowing, actually, revelation that I'm going to be sharing with you, let me start with sharing how EMIs are secretly stealing your wealth. And actually, you'll be bowled over just as I was when I originally found this concept. So, I made a bold claim that you are going to be losing 52 lakhs. An average professional, that's what an average professional is losing over their lifetime to simply paying interest. This does not include the capital, of course, of the house that you've taken an EMI for. It's not the face value of the car that you've paid. This 52 lakh is simply the interest amount that you're going to be paying to the bank. And by the end of this video you'll learn how to how that exact rupee amount is calculated and how it's coming out of your hard-earned money every single month. Okay, so let me start with Gopal as a typical story, like a case study. One second. Yeah, I was just checking if I'm on mute or not, so that's fine. So Gopal is earning 15 lakh salary CTC. He's a software engineer in Bangalore and he's doing fairly well for himself. He knows he's on a progression path with a highly reputed multinational company. So now, first of all, Gopal thinks he's responsible because he pays all his EMIs on time and he's very well secure in his job, and he doesn't feel that he's taken too much of an EMI dent on his salary, right? And banks actually love customers like Gopal. Now, let me break down his EMI story to you. From his money leaks detector, he found out that he's paying 47,000 in EMIs every month. So roughly his salary is about a take home of 1,12,500 a month, and he's okay with paying 47,000 in EMIs. He's well covered. But how did it build up? So the first step was like, okay, I've got a multinational job. I must treat myself to something nice. I've got a 15 lakh salary package. After all, I'm you know on my way to great success. So he treated himself to an iPhone. And when he saw an ad saying only 2,000 rupees EMI for your new iPhone, he was like, yeah, what is 2,000 rupees for me? That's where it starts from. And as the EMIs for the phone started, the next thing he felt was like, I really work hard and I deserve a holiday, right? So he had put some savings aside for his holiday, but by the time it came to planning and everything, he decided to make a trip to Europe and little bit of his own funds, but he also raked up a small personal loan to fulfill his dream holiday in Europe. 10,100 EMI for his personal loan that he's taken. He comes back again. The job is good. He's feeling great. He's feeling a very you know confident with his newfound professional identity, and he says, I need to upgrade my lifestyle. I need to have a better car. So he goes to the car showroom, like something which he thinks is, when the salesperson says you can have it for 13,600 EMI, he's like, perfect, that's not a big deal. And then the next thing is, finally he says, no, I need to act responsible, so let me also buy a home. He's put some money aside for the initial deposit, and he settled for a 26,000 EMI on his home, which he thinks is his greatest milestone, that he now has his own place, his home. He has a nice fancy car, he has a fancy phone, and he thinks he has arrived. Plus a little bit of personal loan for his uh, stature and the holiday. Right? Now, let me reveal the psychology behind it. First of all, banks, when they push some product to you, or even the consumerist culture that we live in, when the company sells a product to you, it also says, oh, it comes uh, with an affordable monthly payment, and they never tell you the total cost actually that comes up with the EMI, right? So at that time the psychology is, oh, 13,000 feels easy. I mean, I have that kind of surplus, right? So when they say the car is 11.5 lakhs, you're like, oh, I can't afford that. But the minute they say that it's only 13,000 per month, you're like, yeah, that's totally doable. I'll have that instant gratification and I'll have that car. So, like Robert Kiyosaki says, the poor buy luxuries first, but the rich buy luxuries last. Warren Buffett is comfortable driving his old Beetle, but you think you deserve a nice, fancy BYD or MG or whatever you fancy, right? So the second, and I'll give the maths in a bit, but the second place where he walks into is that, yeah, fine, fair enough. Even I am a big believer in owning a home of your own. But in India, when you're paying 8.5% home loan, um, interest rate, that maths doesn't stack up that well actually. Say for example, even if you're taking a loan of 30 lakh rupees as your loan amount, and you're paying 8.5% over a tenure of 20 years. When you do that, you're coming up to an EMI of roughly about 25,000 monthly, which feels affordable and totally doable for somebody who's earning a lakh plus salary. But then, what you don't get told is that by the time in that 20-year tenure, when you'd be finishing it up, you would actually have paid a full amount of 60 lakhs. So that's 30 lakhs of interest right there that you're paying. Now, if your capital is growing, if the house value is growing more than 8.5% every year, then you're in the plus by the end of those 20 years. You have built some capital for yourself. But end of the day, Robert Kiyosaki says that any asset that doesn't put money in your pocket is not really an asset, it's a liability. So your personal home where you're living is not really an asset because it's not going to put any money in your pocket until or unless you sell it someday. But you will still need a home, right? So if you think you're rich because you have bought your home, then think twice. You are going to, this is where the golden handcuffs come. You're going to be paying just as much of the principal amount that you have taken over a period of 20 years, just plainly in interest. But still, personally, I feel this one is still legit because end of the day, instead of paying rent to somebody else, you're at least paying EMI for your own asset, which has growth potential. And plus, a home in my traditional view is a security asset. It's not a capital, like it's not your asset that puts money in your pocket, but it's your baseline security. So home loan 30 lakhs is still something that is building you some amount of wealth. Now, just doing the maths as I just talked about, in a, this is a calculator, I'll put the link to it. It's the real eye opener. It gives you clearly when you take any loan, home loan or car loan or anything, just go in this calculator and do the calculation. What interest rate are you taking that loan at? Put the interest rate, put the tenure, put the amount, and then you're going to get exactly what the EMI amount would be and how much interest will you pay over the life of that loan. So in Gopal's case, it's 32 lakhs 48,000 of interest that will be paid, and the net total amount that will be paid against the 30 lakh home loan will be 62 lakhs 48,327. Next comes his car loan. Now, this is a depreciating disaster without a doubt. So, he took an 8 lakh loan over a period of 7 years at 11% interest rate. So, at that point, when you're buying the car, your focus is plainly, I want this car, I can afford it, I can easily do a 13,000 EMI, and and you're not paying attention to how long for and what is the interest that you're going to be paying. So when you go into this calculator, you see that Gopal is going to be paying for 7 years. He's going to be paying 13,000 every month, which he doesn't mind, but he's paying 3,50,000 plainly in interest. And that asset, that car will not hold its value after 7 years. It's going to be worth a lakh rupees, if at all, even that. So there's no wealth being created here. This is a drain just to keep up with the Joneses, right? Third, the luxury trap. You think you have arrived and now you deserve that holiday or that Rolex watch or whatever sub luxury item that you think you totally deserve. Fair enough, if you have earned it and you can afford it, you must go ahead and do it. But there are also people who are doing holidays on EMIs, who are doing lots of other things on EMIs. I don't even know what all, right? Here, he just had 1 lakh rupee saving of his own and he took a 5 lakh rupee holiday with an 18% interest on his personal loan. And that's locking himself up for the next 5 years to a 10,000 per month EMI. Total interest that he'll pay over the 5 years is 2,09,442. So, and finally, the credit card every month that rakes up, and then sometimes he's putting some personal purchases on an impulse onto the credit card. In his case, his average, he's good with the EMIs on his credit card. It's only about 2,000. Rest he just settles up front in the month. But even with a 2,005 year 80K EMI that he's rigged up for some educational course that he took, it's 2,000 rupees. Oh no, the 80,000 for the iPhone. Yeah, and that's 41,000. So 80,000 for the phone and 41,000 to the bank for your instant gratification. And that's for that phone, which will be 20,000 worth after its while, like its term. You're going to pay 1,21,000 triple eight. So this is how, if you do the maths, the total maths, home, car, personal loan, credit card loans, total interest is 38 lakh 50,000 already that he's going to be paying. Okay, this is pure interest. And this is just the current EMI portfolio. If you had not become aware of this, definitely typical trajectory is that you would have gone for your next 20 lakh loan for your home upgrades in 2 3 years time, again paying another 12 lakh interest on that 20 lakh upgrade for the home. And then the wife comes in, maybe you'll take some wedding loan as well. I'm not calculating that. You might just want to go for a second car on EMI as well, another 2.1 lakhs of interest in that. So overall future interest cost, if you add up 14 lakhs, 1,000, and that comes up to a total of 52 lakhs 60,000 that an average high earning professional pays to banks just plainly in interest. So I thought it's important to know that this is your biggest money leak, which goes totally unnoticed. The interest that you pay to banks and for being their highly privileged customers, right? Now, just look at the opportunity cost here. If this 52 lakhs was not paid in monthly interest in EMIs over a period of 25 years, and if you had invested that 47,000 in investments, say on an average at 12% per annum return, over 25 years, you would have built a net worth of 6.2 crores. So the difference is 6.67 crores. Generational wealth versus generational poverty that you would be leaving behind for gratifying all these impulsive buys and EMIs and everything else. So this is something I needed to bring to your attention so that next time you take up an EMI, you actually figure out how much interest that you're going to be paying and is it actually worth that, uh, uh, gratification, right? So, yes, go for holidays, but only after you get a bonus of 5 lakhs. Splurge it, no doubt. You deserve it, right? Have the phone when have got some windfall coming in, or you've saved up the 80,000 for the iPhone, right? And also after you've put that 47,000 in your long term freedom fund account, when you've put your 20% 30% of your monthly income in your freedom fund account and invested, rest of it is your choice how you want to splurge it. But you have first invested in your future and then gone for your luxuries, right? And that makes all the difference between living a life of financial burden or living a life of financial growth, right? So basically, As Warren Buffett says, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. And now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. So, good luck with keeping your EMIs to the bare minimum and cleaning up whatever you can first. Before you build your financial empire, first clean up your house and stop the invisible leaks going to the banks as your EMI interest. That's it, and I'll see you in the next bonus material where we're going to break down another new concept.